welcome back. All right, today I'm just about to get in the car and just pop out quickly, but something just came to my mind. In fact, it's been on my mind for a little while. You guys know that I don't have any house help at the moment. So house help, if you don't know, house help is someone who you pay to come along and help you with, I don't know, maybe cleaning, cooking. It can be a number of things, number of different things within your house. Basically help you with your everyday household chores. You can send them to go shopping. You can do all kinds of things. And so at the moment I currently don't have any house help. Now, because we're building a house and we're about to move upstairs, upstairs is going to be a much bigger house. And I've been thinking about the cleaning and everything else that needs to be maintained in the house, as well as all the other hundreds of things that I have to do in a day. And like, seriously, can I actually maintain what's about to happen? And I've been thinking about it for a while, and I'm just like, oh gosh, it's going to be a lot, but can I do it? Can I make sure, especially my children's rooms are going to be clean and tidy, and because I don't like mess. And so I feel like I do kind of need to have some help, because when we first came to Ghana, we did have house help, and that was like, it's so relieving, especially when we had someone who would cook for us as well. So you'd be out and then you just have the convenience of calling the person and say, oh, can you make this for me? And then by the time you get home from wherever you are, long day or whatever you've had, everything is done and you just need to sit down and just feed yourself, basically. And so having house help, there's so many conveniences to having it. But actually, I remember I did a video on house help quite a few years ago on my other channel, and I remember when I did it, someone said to me, or someone said, I can't remember if it was in the comment section or where, but someone said to me, but don't you think having house help is like slavery, like a modern day form of slavery? I was like, I'd never actually thought of it that way before. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think having house help is a form of modern day slavery? I mean, I don't think there's any clear-cut answer, because I feel like there are so many different ways you could use a house help. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Because for me, I think there's nothing wrong with having someone come into your home to help you with, you know, the things that you need help with, you know, keeping the place tidy, if you want them to look after your children, like a nanny, or if you just want them to do more of the cleaning. There are so many different ways, you know. Like I said, I've had a house help where they lived with us, and so they would cook, they would clean, they would do the whole hog, basically. Then I've had house help that has come 3 times a week and has just done cleaning and occasionally gone to the market for me. So there are different ways that you can have a house help. But honestly speaking, is it modern day slavery? I'm not sure. Because when I think about it, I feel like, okay, well, I'm providing someone with a job, someone that perhaps doesn't have a job, maybe doesn't have like any real skills, so there's nothing else for them to do. Maybe the only thing that they can do is cook, and maybe they run out of jobs in restaurants, maybe they just need something. So in that sense, is it slavery? But I guess it becomes slavery, and I think this is where the line for me is. If you have someone who's a house help and they're very young, and maybe you don't send them to school, because it does happen here. You can have house help that is that young, they don't really go to school, all they do is stay at home, you cook for they cook for you and all of that, and that's basically their whole life. For me, that's kind of like borderline. But there's so many caveats to what I'm saying. If you are going to get some type of house help, I think you need to consider the age of the person that you're going to get that's going to help you. You need to figure out if they are, I'm going to say happy, I'm going to use that word for now, if they are happy doing what they're doing. Because let's be real, some people are forced into it by their families. Look, you need to go and work, so you go, we can't keep you here, go and stay with that family, and you go and do house help for them. Are they happy to do it? Does that then become a form of modern day slavery? If the person's not happy doing what they're doing and they're being forced by their family to kind of say, look, you need to bring money into the family, everybody needs to do something, so this is what you're going to do. Is that a modern day form of slavery? Because honestly, I've heard stories where people have had to do that, and the money that they earn goes straight to the family. They don't even get to see a penny of it. Is that modern day slavery? That's a little bit more comfortable. I've got my arms back now. Whew. Okay, yeah, so yeah, I just feel like it's kind of like borderline. I hope I'm not too close to the camera. I don't want to like frighten you guys, like having my face all up in the camera. But yeah, I feel like it's definitely borderline, and your conscience, if you decide to have house help, your conscience has to be settled with the fact that you are going to have someone help you around the house. You have to think about how you want to treat the person as well. Do you want them to be like almost an extended part of your family, or do you just literally want them to do that, and are they happy to do that? Because I think there's a very fine line between having someone help you out at home and it becoming like a form of slavery. Now I know slavery typically is meant as in, you know, you've literally entrapped someone and you don't allow them to go. But I feel like that's why I called it modern day slavery, because there are different types of slavery. And so when I'm talking about slavery, I'm talking about they're doing something that they're not happy with. Yeah, I think your conscience definitely has to be settled with it. I think you need to really understand the person's background, where they're coming from as well, before you hire them. But basically having house help is, it can help you so much. It really, really can. But there's a lot to think about. Like I said, the age of the person, are they happy doing what they're doing? What exactly do you want them to do at home? Would you need more than one house help? Do you need, like, some people need 2, even 3, because one does cooking, one does cleaning. It just depends on what you want, really. You need to think as well, do you want them to live in with you? Do you want them to come every day? And also, if you are going to have a house help and you want them to be going home and coming every day, you also have to factor transport into the salary that you're going to give them. Now, salary, I'm not going to really talk about the salary for house help, because there are definitely 2 schools of thought on this, and if I start going into that now, this video is going to become very, very controversial, because there is a school of thought that thinks you should pay, like, I don't know, like a couple thousand cedis for having someone come to help you a few days a week. And there is the school of thought that a lot of local Ghanaians would pay to have a house help. There are 2 very different groups of people. So I guess I'm talking about the expat group, excuse me, the expat group, and the Ghanaians that have been born and bred here and know the prices of things. So they definitely pay 2 different salaries, and there's always a debate around how much you should pay someone for doing something like that. For me personally, my nose ring has turned. This thing, I need to change it. It's really irritating for me. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, yes, so you need to decide where you're going to fall, or if you're going to fall in the middle, or which kind of bracket you want to fall in, because the last thing that you really want is for someone to be miserable with the pay that you're given. And one thing about Ghanaians sometimes is that they find it hard to tell you when what you're giving them is not enough. So, like, I'll give you an example. Like, sometimes I have this girl, and she comes to cook for me once in a blue moon. Like, in fact, I haven't used her for months and months and months, hardly ever. In fact, she comes to cook for my dad, and I occasionally use her. And I said to her, she was cooking some rice for me, and I said to her, okay, so how much are you going to charge me for doing this? And she was like, oh, anything you can give me. I said, that's not an answer. I mean, how much do you want? She's like, anything. And this was like back and forth and back and forth. I tried everything. I'm like, look, if you don't tell me, if you don't say what you want, you don't get what you want. So say what's comfortable so that you don't feel cheated. If you say a price and I think that it's too much, I'll tell you it's too much. So I want you to come out of a price and tell me what you want, and then we can negotiate from there. Nothing is set in stone, you know what I mean? I'm not going to be offended by it. But this conversation went back and forth, and she refused to tell me. It was so hard. And then, in fact, in the end, she said, oh, she wanted 80 cedis. And I was like, okay, so why didn't you just say that from the beginning? But even after she's 80 cedis, I don't know if she was actually happy with 80 cedis, or I don't know if she was, you know, like, it's so difficult. It's so difficult because you don't know if, when someone gives you a price, if they're actually trying to see if you're going to pay that price, or if that's the actual price, or how you feel about it. You know, it's really difficult. Hey, there's some pollen in the air, man. Woo! Yeah, it's really difficult kind of getting people to give you a price. Sometimes it can be so frustrating. You guys know already. I get so frustrated when someone doesn't give you the price. That whole DM me for the price thing. Like, just say your price, man. Let's all be free. You know, it's not a big deal. But anyway, I'm kind of going off topic a bit. But yeah, so I'm thinking that perhaps I would like to probably have someone come and do some work for me, just to help me out, keep up with the cleaning. But once in a while, I think everyday light cleaning I could probably manage with, but I feel like every now and again you need like a good deep clean, like, you know. And the way my time is kind of like set up, I don't have a lot of spare time, because I have so many things that I'm doing at once, so that's kind of like a bit of a disadvantage for me. and I mean, yeah, the children are there. That's good for the light cleaning, but for when it comes to doing a proper clean, no, that doesn't happen. So I feel like I do need to get someone, but I need to find the right person, so that I don't have a crisis of conscience, if that makes sense. Because I've seen people hire like children to be like house help, and I just think, like, how you've got your own children around and your own children don't do this, but you get someone else's child to do that. Like, is it really fair? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a tough one. But I'd appreciate you guys to comment below and let me know, would you ever have house help? What's the youngest age for house help that you would accept? How much would you pay a house help for, maybe doing full-time or part-time, or what would you use your house help for? Would you use them to just do cleaning? Would you trust someone to cook for you? There's so many, as I said, there's so many cravats to how you can have a house help and all of that. But all I can say is that, man, having one makes your life 100% easier. And I think that's one of the good things about being here in Ghana, being able to afford to get people to help you. Because in the UK I did everything myself, but I wasn't really working, so I did everything myself. But it's a bit harder to say, oh, you're gonna just come to Ghana and do the same. This, my nose ring is hanging out again. See it? How irritating. I don't know why this thing keeps spinning. It never used to spin, and then all of a sudden it just starts spinning. So that tells me that it's time to just change it and get a new one. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, in the UK I didn't have help, but you know, when you come from the West and you come to Ghana, you know, it's not as easy thinking, oh, I do everything that I was doing it all myself there, and then I can do it all myself here. You could do some, but honestly, you're working in a different climate, so the heat definitely contributes to how much you can do. Because trust me, once you've done 1-2 errands, yeah, and you think about coming home to do cleaning or do whatever, you know what, you're worn out. It's really, really tough. And Ghana here, you know, doing multiple things in a day is very difficult. Sometimes you can only get one thing done or 2 things done in a day, and it makes things very difficult. So if you want the blood pressure to come down small, sometimes you need someone to be able to help you. So anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts. I don't think I need to talk anymore, and also I need to pop out. So that is the end of today's video. I'd love to know what you think about it. Anyway, if you haven't already subscribed, guys, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button for me and the notification bell. And don't forget, please also do me a favor and just like this video. It only takes a small second to just hit the like button for me, so that this video can go out to a wider audience and more people can get to see it. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, I am out.